Hello, my name is Corey Toombs, and today we're doing a tutorial for RPG Maker VX Ace on parallax mapping. It is script specific. I'm using Ultimate Parallax Control by GTS. There's a lot of parallax scripts, but I think this one's pretty good. I know people like to use modern algebra. I don't like modern algebra because it relies too much on control switches and variables. Here you put in, there's different aspects of each parallax. I'm not very good, so I'm going to put 0 because I'm not going to have any maps using the fixed parallax, but I will be using that layer. So for map 1, which is parallax 2, which is like the trees and stuff, I won't be using light. I'm only like a beginner, but I just want to show you how to use the script, and I will be using ground. So I will have basically 2 layers, the ground and the overlay, like the trees, or you can even put shadow in there. You don't need to have a separate thing unless your shadow's moving or something, I guess. So you put in which maps you want these things to be in. And I have a forest here, and the map dimension is 20 by 20. We will be using GIMP for this, so it's also specific for GIMP. So 20 times 32 is 640. So we're going to have a new 640 by 640. And we are going to make the background transparent. And view, show grid, image, configure grid to 32 by 32. And we're going to save this as tutorial map 1. Okay, this could take a while. I haven't done parallax mapping for a while, so if I'm a little rusty, so you're going to go to this tool here, clone tool, and make sure it's on pattern. Now you have to make sure you've collected a lot of stuff, and you can see I have a lot of stuff in here. You're pretty much going to rip out all the things you own and put them in here. Okay, it will take some time. So I think I have a vast, quite an amount of stuff, and I'm just going to use grass, and I'm going to make that very big, 2000. And there. So I've just filled out the whole map with grass using the brush and that pattern. Now I like to use some different kinds of grass. I guess this tutorial covers how to do some parallax mapping, though I think this is a little bit more advanced. I like acrylic 3 and bigger than that. 500 maybe? Let's try 500. 500, yeah. So I'm just going to use the acrylic to put some of that grass in there. And I want to change, I'm going to use this grass. Most of the stuff I'm using is from Selena. So I should credit her in this video. And there we have some nice grass. And I'm going to call this layer ground base. And let's save and make a new layer. And I'm going to call this ground +1. And I'm just going to make a dirt road, and I'm still going to use acrylic 3. Maybe a little smaller. 100. Road doesn't need to be that big, and this isn't going to be that great of a map. The reason I'm doing it on a different layer is in case I don't like where the road is, I could just delete it. I'm probably not going to delete the ground base where all the grass is, but there's a chance I might want to delete the road. So it's not the greatest road. And you can put other stuff here later too. And you can make a new layer. All these layers are going on top, but you can move the layers around. And I'm going to call this, I usually call this layer the parallax. The stuff that's going above everything, okay? But I will later make some other layers. So I've made it pretty simple. I'm going to make a brush. I'm going to go to my brushes, and you can see I already have trees here. And you want to try to get the tree's trunk within the grid, okay? These are 32 by 32 grids. You saw me do that at the beginning. That's the characters walking in 32 by 32 dimensions. So you can see there where the trunk is here. That's really important, okay? That you get it sort of within that. Otherwise, you might have some issues, okay? And I'm gonna put some trees around on different areas. Now you can have these go over the path any which way you like. You can seriously spend a lot of time parallax mapping. Collecting the tiles takes quite a bit of time too. So it's a huge time investment if you want a parallax map. I haven't actually made a game yet. I plan on doing a game with parallax mapping. Just it is time consuming, and I think this video is probably going to be quite long. Probably many parts. So I have some trees, and you can see none of them really overlap each other. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call it Parallax plus 1. Now, I'm going to put trees over these trees. So if I don't like where the trees are situated later, I can just delete like just one layer. So there's a reason to my madness. I don't like that. Reason to everything I'm doing here. Everything I'm doing here has a reason. This experience from using GIMP, how to do certain things. This is a really small map. I'm really filling it up quite a bit just to show stuff. Usually I'll use bigger maps for this. It's not the greatest. So I over-treed it, I think, a bit. You can get the idea. Let's save. And let's go back to the ground layer. We have the ground plus 1. So this stuff is going to go on top of the ground base on the same level as the road, but under the trees. And you might want to put some rocks. Rocks are good. Rocks are not that big. Now, getting these in the grid is important. Since players usually can't walk into rocks. Right there. You can put a rock there. And, You put rocks under trees, sort of. You can see the tree is over the rock because they're different layers. So if I put the rock here, see? You can't even see it because it's under, okay? So I put a couple rocks. I'm not going to go too overboard with that because it's crazy. You can get really crazy with parallax mapping. You can make this really... You can seriously spend a lot of time here. Okay. Now, I want to make another layer. And I'm going to call this the tree base. Now, let's see if I remember how to do this. I think I want to start with this one is below and this one is above. So I want to start with this parallax here. So I can make this one disappear. And I'm going to use this rectangle tool. And this might not be so precise. You can obviously spend more time at this than I'm going to be spending. And I'm just going to cut a bit. Now this is not going to, because I'm on this layer, it's actually not going to cut any of the ground away. So I just forgot that. And I'm going to cut. And I'm going to go to this one and Control V. And making that part of the tree on a different layer. Okay? Go back here. Cut. Control V. And you're gonna, I shouldn't have made so many trees. Cut. Control V.